everybody, welcome back to Spaceball. I am your host, founder, editor-in-chief of The Geek Space, Danny McGill, and I am here with our sports editor, who has a degree, Bobby Howard, DDT. Wrestling so good it'll make your frogs gay.
That's actually where I had gotten that from the InfoWars. InfoWars.
I hear that's actually what Alex Jones used to do. Is he'd practice his DDTs. He'd rip his shirt off and scream about Hillary Clinton and DDT all the interns.
Oh yeah, I mean that seems fair. I would figure that. Oh God, so many different Alex Jones things that are just. Fuck that guy, but like he's a great soundbite. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Do you think Alex Jones likes wrestling?
No. Yes. I don't know. That dude seems so homoerotic without like actually like, you know what I mean though? Like he seems like he's closeted and like that there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Well, but like, oh man.
Alex Jones. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Hold on, Bobby. Let's not get ahead.
Well, I like the idea that you're giving Alex Jones the Seinfeld defense. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh my gosh. No, if it's the Seinfeld defense, he has to go on like Letterman and apologize, and then I'm letting somebody's laughing in the audience,
that's
and I'm like,
that's not the Seinfeld defense.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's my favorite Letterman clip of all time.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. What I was gonna say is that I think when you think about like Alex Jones and that he's also in the Joe Rogan area of dudes, I'm like a media figure who's like kind of weird and conspiratorial, but I'm also like Joe Rogan's like really into UFC and all that shit. I think it'd be really funny if Alex Jones like he posted a picture and he's like wearing like a Stone Cold t-shirt.
I want to preface this by saying that I am not in any way defending Joe Rogan here, but Joe Rogan actually exercises and like he's relatively unhinged, but like he's probably had a couple punches to the face.
Alex Jones is a maniac. Dude, Alex Jones though, he's eating bone meal protein or whatever the fuck he sells.
It's making his skin like a little tanner. Oh my goodness.
He's really fit. What are you talking about?
He's super fit. Almost as fit as
peak male performance.
Yeah, almost as fit as Giancarlo Stanton. Just kidding. Just fucking kidding.
I don't know if he looks like. I think he looks more like Brett Gardner if we were picking a fucking Yankee.
No, he's not, because Brett Gardner's a brick shithouse too. You seen that dude? He's bald as shit, but his traps are huge.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's just that I feel like Alex Jones, sort of like Brett Gardner, is a guy where you look at, you went, oh yeah, you only did arm day, huh?
Brett Gardner looks like somebody who would be like, listen here, you son of a bitch. So like, I could definitely see that.
I honestly think if like Brett Gardner looks like he's gonna quit the MLB and then be the new Joe Rogan, like he looks like he's just gonna be like overly aggressively on the mic, just like, I swear to fucking God. I spit all over my mic.
Oops. Welcome to Spaceball, everybody.
Welcome to Spaceball. Man, this last week fucking sucked for me.
Just super weird, but like I'm for it, at least on my end of the spectrum.
I'm anti it. Well, yeah, your team had a better week than mine did.
My team has had a better ever since and I just saw this stat before we had went live. Ever since the Garrett Cole, I'm finishing this motherfucking game quote, the Yankees have been 24-10. Jesus. I mean, they've also added 2 new people, but I mean, at the same time, also, we completely forgot about this. We have to touch on it. The Field of Dreams game was rad.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
All right, well, never mind. I'll fuck myself.
I watched the highlights. The highlights were great. I was trying to watch a live baseball game between Shohei Ohtani and Vladdy Jr. Okay, I was very, very invested in that. By the way, one home run hit all day. Neither of those guys. It was Gurriel.
Yeah.
That did get caught by a dude right
It was
next to
Lourdes,
me,
right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Yuli's not on the Jays.
I'm sorry. I always think of. I don't like Yuli at all, so I always think of Yuli first.
No. I went to go see the Jays game. My dad kept texting me about the Field of Dreams game, and I'm like, I'm watching real baseball right now.
Yeah, I'm literally at the game right now, Dad.
It was very funny, I should say. The amount of people wearing Guerrero jerseys, but
that was like the Expos.
No, it's Papa Guerrero. Because he played in the Angels.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, no. Vladdy Guerrero. Did I say? Oh, I just said the Expos. I was just thinking Vladdy Guerrero in general. Yeah.
Vlad
Senior.
Vlad Senior. Everybody was there wearing Vlad Senior stuff, but then like when Vlad Junior comes out, they're like, boo.
And you're like,
yeah. By the way, horrific game for Vlad Junior. What the fuck? That was bad game defensively. He had like 2 errors.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing, and that we kind of touched on it last week, but like errors are such a weird stat, and I don't. I mean, I think we already discussed that. We don't need to get into a diatribe about it, but more or less, they're just so fucking weird because of the accusatory nature of just like, is it
whose
an
fault
error?
is
it a feeling or is it like a statistic? You know, and that's actually my buddy and I were discussing that, and that was the thing is that. Speaking of recent happenings, the Padres fucking suck.
Yeah,
like,
they're bad. They're not even like struggling anymore. Like they've been pretty miserable, man.
Yeah, and I mean, like Tatis coming back and hitting 2 as well as being placed in the outfield, in my opinion, is good. I think that it's good that he's in the outfield as opposed to at shortstop. I want to see Jake Cronenworth and see how he does at shortstop. A lot of people that I've seen either on Reddit or even like in discussing it with friends, they say they would make a move, put Manny at shortstop and then Tatis at third.
I feel like, I mean, no. I'm going to say no.
I think that it could. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think there's a perfect position for Tatis right now. Clearly, the issue is he has this, I think it's a rotator, but his shoulder.
Lingering shoulder injury.
That, he's been injured 3 times now, same shoulder. And I fully expect the day after the season ends, they're going to be like, okay, he's getting surgery tomorrow. Like,
yeah,
but I think the thing is that, like, no matter, first of all, National League, like there's no DH. Yep. And if there was, where do who are you slotting in there? Tatis, I mean, they argue he's like the worst defensive shortstop in the league. I don't know if I completely buy that stat, but that said, he gets injured a lot and he dives a lot and he puts his body on the line a lot.
What does that sound like? Sounds a little like Aaron Judge to me.
Well, yes.
I say that in an example, not to necessarily cut you off, but if you look at, I mean, knock on wood, but if you look at Aaron Judge from 2017 until now, he was consistently doing like ridiculous dives. He was doing all these crazy things. And even this year, he said, I didn't realize how much of a strain that put on my body. And I mean, I would say I'm like 5'9". Like I wouldn't necessarily have the same issues as someone who is 6'5". Like that's just, it's not. And that's the thing is that Aaron is flying around there like he's Clint Frazier or Brett Gardner. And that's something that, in my opinion, needed to be dealt with. And if you look at it this year, he's more or less only been on the COVID IL. Yeah. So I think that the issue with the Padres is twofold. I think that one, their pitching is really shitty, or it's just like, then the thing is that is incredibly disappointing because
yes,
the I remember you and I would be messaging each other either within the Discord or within like DMs or what have you. And the GM's name is escaping me, but like
Preller.
he went out and got Yu Darvish. He went out and got Blake Snell. He went and got he got a couple hands in the bullpen. Last year they got Mike Clevenger. Like they're like when they grabbed those players, their previous like ace for the Padres went to like 5th starting or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Joe Musgrove also got taken from. He was also a deal as well over the offseason, right? No, I don't think he was a Padre beforehand.
Was Musgrove
I'm pretty sure
not
he was
there last year. I think he was.
I don't think he was. I think that he was a Ray or something along those lines. But
let me double check. I thought he was the year prior. No,
2021.
Right.
Yeah, Pirates.
You're right. Pirates is where he was at.
So, I mean, that's that for me. And the thing is, now their percentages of making the postseason they have drastic gone down, as one scholar, Scott Steiner, would say. Their chances of winning have drastic gone down. And so, like, the thing for me is that A, their pitching sucks, and B, I would just say they got to figure out what the fuck they're trying to do with Tatis. I don't think that that's necessary. I think that that's just a huge thing because you guys have invested 11 years and over like $186 million in this guy or something along those lines. So as me, the Yankee fan who is consistently feels like it was like having Jacoby Ellsbury flashbacks, you're just like, you want to make sure at that point that something is going to come through.
The rotation last year for the Padres at the end of the year was Davies, Zach Davies, Dinelson Lamet, Chris Paddock, Garrett Richards, and Mike Clevenger.
Yeah. So, I mean, now with all those changes, the first 3 it's like Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, and Joe Musgrove.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like,
and I guess basically,
point.
Dinelson Lamet basically ends up at 4th.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that they're bad pitchers at all.
No.
I don't think that. It's just that the people that have come in like to try and do what they are supposed to do, like they just got swept by the Rockies.
Yeah.
And the Diamondbacks, right?
I don't think they didn't get swept by the Diamondbacks.
They did lose because I think the game that
they
Tatis
lost the
came
series.
back.
Tatis came back and got 2 hits on his first game back.
Yep. And so 3 hits actually, but 2 home runs, I think.
Well, okay.
I'm figuring that's what you meant. I just yeah. But yeah, man, that's hyper disappointing if you're a Padres fan for sure.
Yeah, and I think on top of that, I mean, like, this is part of the reason I don't buy the Tatis defensive stat. Don't get me wrong, Tatis has problems on defense. As we said, he's throwing his body around like a fucking ragdoll sometimes. And it is impressive in the moment. Like, we all loved the Tatis double jump meme earlier in the season, right? But yeah, the more you do that, the more you're going to wreck your body. And the thing is, he has to do it a fucking lot because the Padres are getting shelled consistently in the last 2 months. I mean, I saw an interesting stat that was since the foreign substance ban being enforced, Yu Darvish is one of the pitchers with the greatest spin rate change. Ooh. Which I don't, and people made the point, well, he also was dealing with an injury. We don't know exactly what happened, but that was like damning to me, is like, oh no. Maybe they were sold a false bill of goods.
Aroldis Chapman has been incredibly bad. Like, they literally put him in last night just to close the game out. I mean, he was on the IL for like elbow inflammation. He also had like a broken nail, which is hilarious when you think about that as an actual, like, not IL injury, but like an actual thing. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh yeah, like, the certain grips that you're going to have, that would definitely fuck up if your nail was fucked. That's kind of, it's so funny to me to like think about pitchers, because like they will literally have like nail clippers or nail files and stuff like that too. Silly little thing, but baseball's fucking sick, so that's why it happens. Sick sport. But it's not. Personally, I think that it's not. I don't see stuff like that as damning. Like, I think that with injuries, it is disappointing for sure. But I think that with injuries, also, Darvish has been known to be up and down. He's not necessarily like,
and he has a record of injury. Like he's not.
Yeah, he's got an injury past.
He's history. Not made of paper, but he's he's had season-ending and like long-term injuries before. This isn't crazy.
Yeah, it's just disappointing because like the Padres, the Padres are kind of a franchise where you want them to be good. Mm-hmm. Because again, they're like, if you look like the big market teams like Los Angeles and San Francisco are right there. Mm-hmm. Speaking of, San Francisco is still the best team in MLB as far as at the very least record wise.
Wow, I can't believe they're good.
I mean, can't you not believe it though? Like, aside from Buster Posey and Brandon Crawford, who else can you name from them that isn't Chris Bryant?
Damn it, I was gonna say Chris Bryant.
Like, it's one of those things. Well, I mean, I'll give you more time if you want.
Shit. Hold on.
No, they're good, so that's not one of their players.
No. I can't name anybody off the top of my head. That's what's disappointing about this is like I'm gonna look at their roster and I'm immediately gonna go, oh, that fucking guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, that's the other guy I was thinking of. I was like, there's somebody else. Yastrzemski is the other guy who I'm like, I should know him. But
I remember, I mean, I know like Evan Longoria, obviously, because he used to be like, he was like a Tampa Bay Ray for many, many years.
Yeah. Darren Ruff, he was like, I guess I kind of know.
Yeah. But, I thought you said Aubrey Huff. I was like, that dude fucking sucks.
No.
But, yeah, I mean, but like the San Francisco Giants are one of like the cooler stories with MLB, and that like the past couple of years they've been on a downslide. Mm-hmm. Get rid of Madison Bumgarner and all of a sudden you're great. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Madison Bumgarner is great. I don't have an issue with him. He's a bit of a baby at times, but he's still great. I think that that story itself, I love the Brewers and the Reds story. Personally, I think that the Reds are absolutely on the Padres' tail as far as that second wild card spot.
I think they might have overtaken them today.
I don't think they have yet because I think they're like 2 or 3 wins down. Could be wrong.
Let's see.
But
wild card standings. Here we go. Let's see what it is today.
Padres are still.
Is it?
In second. 67-56 and 65-57. If the Reds win today, if the Reds beat the Marlins today, then 66-57, which will still mean that they're a half game behind, I believe, is how the math works.
Fucking scary.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But I think that I don't know. The thing about the Padres, it's like it's like I don't know how the issues, you always expect some sort of injury problems in a team. Like I feel like
you have to.
Yeah, like the Yankees dealt with this before, which is like holy shit.
Still do.
Like yeah. But like we lost all of our players. The issue is when you lose them all at once. It's like I mean, Musgrove has been really good still. Like I think people, I mean, like he was good on the Pirates, but also, like you said before, he played for the Pirates. So it's like you were kind of shocked how good he was this year on the Padres. The flip side of that is that Darvish has, first was bad, then was injured. Snell has not been good. He was garbo for like the first half of the season. He was not great.
The thing that's funny about Snell to me is that not to just like dive into a bunch of like, we don't need to necessarily dissect the Padres, but I think that I think that Blake Snell, after that performance at in the World Series, people were like, wow, this guy is definitely somebody that we want to pick up. And I think that Snell plays okay in the in like, I don't know. He's a good pitcher. He's a good to great pitcher, dependent upon the moment. But I think he's one of those moment to moments as opposed to consistently good. Because like the Yankees used to own Blake Snell, at least from what I can remember. Whenever I remember I would be watching a Rays game and I'd be like, sick, awesome, like, but. Or rather, when I see the lineup cards for both teams, I'm like, awesome, I like this. But it's just those guys were supposed to be their big answer to like how to beat the Dodgers, and then the Dodgers were just like, hey, we're just gonna pick up Max Scherzer and Trey Turner in the offseason with like the sickest slide ever.
Yeah, but I think that the idea, I've seen this sort of repeated back and forth on like Padres fan areas in the internet. The idea that getting Max Scherzer would have fixed this problem is silly. Like I love Max. He's awesome. He's
my favorite pitcher.
Maybe he is the most terrifying man in baseball for sure. They would have the same problem with Scherzer as they would with Yu Darvish, which is like, he's a pitcher who's aging pretty gracefully, but he would be a rental for half a year while they try to cover 4 rotation spots that need fixing. Like, if you actually do the math, and let's say that Scherzer lights out every single one of his games, that's 10 games. Like, for the rest of the season, like, you're really fucked anyway. You know, they can't rely on overpaying for one guy to fix a multiple pitcher problem. Of course, they can underpay for Jake Arrieta, which is what they decided to do instead. Which is, look, AJ Preller, 4 1/3 innings, 5 earned runs, and also the kicker, he left with an injury. AJ Preller has been known for making trades that you look at and you go, what? And sometimes go, wow, this one was a why. This trade, to anybody who knows anything.
Just to be clear, I don't think it was a trade.
That's right. That's right. He got let go. He had just been signed to the Chicago Cubs over the season, over the offseason. And then they let him go. Partially because he is clubhouse cancer. He's known for being kind of a piece of shit. And so AJ Preller was like, we need this guy.
Clubhouse cancer? Come on in.
Yeah, we love those. But this one's not even a guy who's good. Like, if you look at the last 4 seasons of Jake Arrieta post World
2016
Series, you go, oh, this guy's not good. Like, he's been underperforming. And on top of underperforming, he is not getting any younger. I don't think he's going to break out and have a holy shit season right now. Yeah. And if you want a guy to go 4 1/3 and let up 5 runs, hey, you have an entire farm system you can pull from for guys you're paying $500,000 for, you know, that you don't need to drop a couple million on. That's okay. Like, you don't. I just think everybody in the world looked at this trade, besides AJ Preller, who had hit the coke a little hard that morning, and said, yeah, this is a fucking terrible idea.
Yep.
You know?
Again, not trade, but yeah.
I keep saying trade. Sorry, okay. Yeah, I know.
We were talking about a lot of different trades. It's totally fine.
Trades are done. Trades are done. This is a signing. Looked at this signing. This is like, in my opinion, this is like if you were like, I need somebody who is a great driver, who's like, I need a delivery person, like a pizza delivery person. I need somebody who's like known for driving. I think OJ Simpson is available. That's the level of decision making that people just
doesn't make any sense.
As a Phillies fan, I feel like I should have called AJ Preller and been like, "Look, man, it's not worth it.
Yeah,
it's not worth it. Trust me."
And the thing is, it's kind of like Andrew Heaney trade for the Yankees. Is that I think that the Yankees knew that they had a lot of people like Jordan Montgomery, Garrett Cole, Wandy Peralta, Nestor Cortez Jr., et cetera, had COVID. Mm-hmm. Like they all had COVID. These are all like people that, I mean, Nestor Cortez initially starting out of the bullpen, now getting starts, as well as like Lucas Litke got a start for a bullpen game. Andrew Heaney did the same kind of thing. That's why they started Heaney at the Field of Dreams game. He sucks, but they started him. And then yesterday he just dropped dick on the Red Sox and allowed 2 hits. And I was like, okay, go off, King. But my thing is that like that Jake Arrieta was more so to eat innings. I don't think that people saw, like, people made the meme of like Jake Arrieta, the savior of the Padres, here we go, like that kind of thing. But like realistically, that is something that is a business. Just to be devil's advocate as far as Preller is concerned, like you got to be able to put bodies in there and then just like hope that maybe your bullpen will be able to get you out of it and your offense will be able to help you. And I think that at that point, that's all that he really asked for. It didn't really work. At least the first game, it didn't work. And now it sounds like Arrieta is injured. Probably going to be on the IL. But it's at this point, with the amount of pitchers that they have, I don't want to speak incorrectly because maybe they don't have pitchers on the IL and they're just sucking. But like, I'm pretty sure that the Padres have like multiple different pitchers on the IL. So starting or just in general?
Starting pitchers on the IL, Darvish, Paddock, and Lamet.
Not Dinelson Lamet.
Lamet, okay.
Yeah. And then Musgrove and Snell are playing?
Musgrove, Snell, and Ryan Weathers.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah, at that point,
Which at that point, they kind of crazy that I think all of their current, no, I guess not Musgrove, but Snell and Weathers are both left-handed now that I think about it, which is kind of weird. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're okay. So I kind of will transition at that point to
wait, hold on. I just want to say one more thing about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
The only credit I will give the Phillies this whole year, the only thing I will give them credit for, with it, maybe the managers of the Padres should look at. We made Ranger Suarez part of the rotation, and we bumped down Vince Velasquez. Let me read to you the bullpen for the Padres. Mark Melancon, Craig Stammen, Emilio Pagan, Tim Hill. You're telling me you'd rather hire Jake Arrieta than say, I trust those guys to eat 3 innings. Like, I would rather just start Craig Stammen. Holy fuck. Like,
I think that I don't disagree with you, but I think that with those games, you have to have them as a bullpen game. Like, and that's one thing where it's like, if you have those, like, if those are some of your hands, you have to be able to deal them strategically. And I've talked a lot of shit about Aaron Boone, but like, whenever there needs to be, and like, believe me, man, some of these decisions that this dude's made. What happened?
You cut out for a second. Go ahead.
Oh, some of these decisions that this dude makes, like, were baffling at the very least in the beginning of the season and close to near the midpoint of it. When it comes to bullpen games, you kind of have to manage that. And I feel like if they only have like 4 hands that they're able to use within the bullpen ish, that's like, I'm not counting their closer or not.
I mean,
counting,
they have more. They have like Nabil Christmas and Rice Nair and a couple other guys. They have fucking Jake Cronenworth, I guess, could probably eat up an inning.
Yeah.
But like, but I'm more just like, I don't know. I just think like, yes, I think that for some teams, the idea of this guy's a starter and this guy's a bullpen arm has become too concrete. And like, Ranger Suarez is currently usually pitching about 5 innings and doing pretty well. I mean, not amazing. I think his ERA is like 3. You don't want to know what it is. Maybe the high 3s. But like, I would take a high 3 over 5 point something. Like, especially if I already have him and I don't have to, sign him for a dumbass amount of money. So that's where I don't know. I get frustrated with like, yes, maybe Craig Stammen starts as a bullpen arm and you're doing a bullpen game where it's like, we're going to have 4 pitchers, each one doing 2 to 3 innings. But if you can work his arm strength up, I would rather, even if he only ever breaks 4 innings, I'd rather have 4 innings of Craig Stammen or Emilio Pagan than I would 5 innings of Jake Arrieta.
Yeah.
Which
I mean it's more so an argument of, will it like do you want to tax your bullpen, or do you want to try and have somebody who is known to start, who is known to have innings like that, like known to, I mean, obviously he's, well, not innings like that, more so what I mean is eat innings, possibly be able to keep the team like within distance. And I think that what I will say is that for Arrieta, the assignment was not that bad. As far as like, don't get me wrong, his pitching performance was, but like against the Rockies or the Diamondbacks, I know that he only played the Rockies, but like it's fucking CJ Cron, Charlie Blackmon, and Trevor Story are the 3 that I can think of on that team. And yet they ended up losing 7-5. Padres tried, but it was one of those things where it's just like, geez, man. What I will say is that, I mean, I think that that's a frustrating signing for a fan base, but like, it's something that I suppose I think needs to be done if you want to be able to not completely wear out your bullpen and possibly injure them depending upon how long they're pitching, because I can tell you that those dudes in the bullpen have probably not been like 3 inning outings kind of dudes, you know?
So, sorry, I just want to, this is what I was going to say on the, since being bumped up to a starter, well, I guess this is a whole year stat because I can't find the day by day, but despite being bumped up to a starter from the bullpen, Ranger Suarez still has a 1.47 ERA, which nice. I know you hate ERAs. So your ERA plus is a 273. That's higher than any other year he has had. He currently has he's got a 5-4 win-loss ratio. And his innings pitched is the most of his whole career. He's got 55 innings pitched. His hits over 9 is the lowest of his career at 5.2. I think that just like my point before was just like, if you can dedicate a guy to actually getting stronger,
you can transition somebody,
you can transition somebody. It's not fucking impossible. Like, but people I think are afraid to. They're just like, this guy's the starter guy. I know he can do 6 innings. It's like, yes, but maybe those 6 innings suck. So I'd rather take 2 guys at 3 innings apiece. Just think about it.
It's actually what the Yankees did with Nestor Cortez. Just to be clear, because last week it was very goofy. At least I feel like I came off as discussing that. I think that ERAs are a bullshit stat when it comes to trades.
Sure,
that is the comment that I was trying to make at that point. But I realized after rewatching the episode that I didn't say that at all whatsoever. So I was just, and I was also very sleepy. So I was just like, I was literally just like, I feel like I'm saying nonsense. Anyway, that is what I'm referring to. As far as ERAs are concerned, I think that especially when it comes to like a full ERA for the entire team, I still don't think they tell the entire story. But I think that they are, like, especially if it's somebody coming from a different location. But speaking of teams that were really hot at the beginning of the year and now they suck, the Red Sox.
Yeah.
The Red Sox had a 10.5 game lead at the beginning of July that has since evaporated, and the Yankees are now ahead of the A's and in first in the wild card currently.
And the Rays hold the division
by 5 games. Yep. And I don't really want to talk about the Yankees, to be completely honest with you, because I think that more or less what happened with the Yankees is that they've switched identities with the Red Sox. Like, the fact of the matter is, the Red Sox weren't like, they were not lights out pitching, and I still stand by that fact that at the beginning of the season, I even said it I'm pretty positive I said it in one of our first episodes. The Red Sox have a great offense, but for some reason, and it's very apparent in the past, like the 3-game sweep that the Yankees just played with them at Yankee Stadium, the Red Sox were just swinging for the fences the entire 3 games, and the Yankees played small ball. There was in the game 2 night, like for the doubleheader, Luke Voit and Giancarlo Stanton both hit solo home runs, and that was the only offense that night. But the thing about it is that the Red Sox, it felt like to me, were just trying to end the game on one swing instead of just playing their game properly. And it kind of showed. Their pitching was not great. I think that in each game, the Yankees scored at least 2 runs in each game, all 3 games. I think the last night was 5-2. Also, Andrew Velasquez, kiss me on the lips challenge. But I think that in general, what you're seeing is it's like that meme. They're like that old school video. I'm pretty sure it was the Cardinals coach where he's just like, they are who we thought they were. We let them off the hook. That kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Except it's just they are who initially at the beginning of the season. Well, I don't need to necessarily be that dramatic. They have 69 wins. Nice. But they very much, like, there's something wrong. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I hope it gets taken care of. I don't. I hope that they continue to lose. But I think that it was very obvious last night that there was something that was going on that was just very weird, like incredibly so. And like Rafael Devers, who people are saying might be the MVP. Xander Bogaerts had a home run, and the thing, that was my biggest thing. Andrew Heaney, the guy who was brought in to just eat innings for the Yankees, basically, fucking went 7 innings at 108 pitches, like 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 2 hits, one being a home run to Xander Bogaerts. 100. He started the 7th inning at 100 pitches. Like that shit is fucking insane to me, because whether or not at the beginning of the season I said that the Red Sox would make the postseason or not, they're a good offense. Xander Bogaerts, Kike Hernandez, Rafael Devers, JD Martinez. He fucking sucks. He's a Trumper piece of shit.
But great baseball player.
Yeah, great baseball player. Alex Verdugo. Like these guys that are very, very, like they're established great players, and just, I don't know what, like they very clearly are shown as being frustrated. Mm-hmm. And this is just like Yankees flip-flopped and turned it on, and that's all I have to really say about the Yankees.
Don't let the Yankees get hot. That's the motto for the rest of the American League. Never let the Yankees get hot.
It's true though.
I mean, look, you guys, as I think it was Jordan on Baseball Barbecue said, Yankees are buying into what they realized was working for them, which is not what you would traditionally say is good baseball, but is how many just absolute Schwarzenegger type dudes can we fit on this team? Like that's there was a stat that the Yankees are tied for the tallest starting outfield, and the only other time it's been matched was when Randy Johnson had to start in the outfield once. Or no, sorry. They are the tallest starting outfield. and then Randy Johnson once came in on to play pinch in the outfield, and that is the only other time an outfield has been this tall.
Yep.
Like, they literally were just like, hey, we what muscle mass per team? Who can we get? Oh, Rizzo and Gallo? Yeah.
Giancarlo, can you strengthen up your legs so you can play outfield? Thank you. Okay, Judge, you're going to be center field. You're probably the fastest out of the two. Hey, can we trade that Joey Gallo guy? Speaking of which, I fucking love Joey Gallo because, like, and shout out to my buddy Joe. Like, him and I were discussing it. Joey Gallo is 6 foot, like 5, 6'3", 6'5", something like that in between. That dude was bunting, has successfully bunted multiple different times for good hits against the shift. And not only that, my favorite thing about it, and my buddy Joe brought it to my attention, like, he's got a ridiculous arm as well. Like, he dude just unloaded 2 nights ago against the Red Sox, where, like, I cannot remember who was on third base, but the runner was very fast and could have like challenged the throw. Joey Gallo tossed a fucking laser to home plate from like pretty deep in the outfield, and they were just like, all right, fuck it, we don't need to fuck with this. And it's such a nasty throw. And honestly, my favorite thing about Joey Gallo is, like, he bunted. And then after the game, like, you can bet that somebody, like, I picture, and he's he's an intelligent dude, but I picture Joey Gallo as like a dumb rock. Just like I don't think he understands the humor of him bunting. Like, if you ask him about it, he'll be just like, yeah, they shift, so I got to take first,
Mm-hmm.
and it just goes nowhere, like nothing, and it's just, it's like he probably doesn't understand why it's funny that he bunted. He didn't even think about it. He just played the game, and like, that, like, oh man, I like. Somebody's like, oh, that was a moonshot earlier, Joey. And he's just like, yeah, I mean, I was just really hoping it was going to go out. Just like, no fucking way. Like, of course. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
But I think that's like, I do think they switched identities, which was like Boston had this kind of red hot offense held up by mediocre,
semi-decent pitching.
Mediocre to decent, depending on where in the season. And then the Yankees were like, oh, wait, we can just have an offense? Okay, we'll just go buy that. Well, we're just going to, who has biceps? We'll take those. And then, so they got Rizzo and Gallo, who have been hot. The ghost is coming into my room.
He wanted to hear about it. He wanted to hear about the Yankees.
So they are like, yeah, what can we get to just like totally crush the ball? And then the pitching has been okay. I mean, not as, there was a lot of talk of the Garrett Cole's going to shit the bed immediately. And like, I think he had a rough adjustment at first, but you know what? He's figured it out and he's doing pretty decently. Like you said, Chapman has been not hot. No. But also there's at least a few weeks a year where Chapman's not hot. That's not a huge surprise anyway. It's part of the Yankees game plan at this point. And so I think that that the Yankees offense got hot exactly when they needed to, which was right when the Boston offense decided to completely shit the bed. So you could call it good timing, you could call it good management. Like a lot of people with the whole like, well, Boston didn't do enough at the trade deadline. I mean, this will be argued for
gives
years
a little
to
too
come.
much credit to multiple different people at that point.
Yeah, but whether it's luck or it's strategy, or if you want to cry like Yankees have too much money, it's like whatever it is, it worked, and it worked at the right time. Like, and so the Yankees have put themselves at the top of the wild card race, one game above or half a game above Oakland, and almost about a whole game above Boston in the wild card.
Yeah, the thing that's so confusing to me about that, but I think I get it, is that like they were discussing it, and it's like, oh, excuse me. Last night the graphics showed that it was one game, and then obviously if the Yankees were to beat Boston, it would be 2 games. But for me, I was like, because obviously they won. For me, does MLB show you just like half a game ahead right now?
Yankees are half a game above Oakland, and then Oakland's another half above Boston,
which is just weird because like the A's like got swept by the White Sox and the Yankees have won every single one, so I feel like it should still be that, but whatever, doesn't matter.
I mean, it also depends on, I think, who else is winning or losing. Like, because I mean, so like Oakland's down, Boston is on a 3-loss streak, but then Seattle is up, and so I think that also has to do with the calculations, because like especially this year, the division calculations are weirder than the wild card calculations. Like, the Phillies are further from a wild card spot than they are from division leader. So it's like, I don't even know what to say.
I think that a lot of it just has to do with games that are not yet played.
Yeah,
is mainly the focus at that point. Because the Yankees are 69-52, nice, and Red Sox are 69-54, nice, right. And so they just have the 2 loss behind, which would make that the one game.
And actually, the reason it's turned out like this is because both teams were like, okay, we're gonna get the 69 wins, and then we're gonna stop.
Yep. Oh yeah. And hopefully not for the Yankees' sake. But you mean both teams, meaning the A's and the Red Sox? Okay, I can get with that. I can vibe with that.
Hey, I'd be fine with the A's. I'd be fine with that if it means that we get Seattle in the wild card game against the Yankees once again.
That'd be funny. No, once again, but we could. That was a series, sir. There was no.
Oh, you're right. Card. That was whatever. Did they not do a wild card together in 01, I thought? No?
Okay. Wild card hasn't been around. The wild card was around in like 2014. Like,
is it only been around that long? That's crazy.
It's been, that's a year I pulled out of my ass, but I know that at least in 2010, like the Yankees Phillies World Series, I know that it wasn't in there.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm pretty sure that it was like 2014, 2015. I remember 2015 because that was the year the Astros beat the Yankees in the wild card game. Mm-hmm. But other than that, that's but
I don't know. AL East, crazy. Side note, I do want to just say, Seattle, 3.5 games back. If Oakland can shit the bed, we might get Seattle in there. Come on.
I wouldn't mind it. It was a fun series. Jared Kelenic.
The other Crawford.
The other Crawford.
The other Seager. Lots of others.
Corey. No, Kyle.
Kyle's, yeah.
Kyle is Seattle. Corey is
LA. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Did you see the Angels come back today from down like 8 and they won 13-10? Hilarious. Detroit's so funny.
So go ahead, please.
No. I think that we were both going to go on to what we were initially discussing.
Please. No, I don't think we were actually.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say milestone watch. Joey Votto hit his 2000th hit.
Okay, then let me do my real quick point first, and then we'll discuss Joey Votto. Arizona Diamondbacks are good. Fuck them. Why? What?
No hitter. Yeah, that's right.
Well, they had a no hitter, and they just took their second in the Phillies against in the series. So in a week that they have out seriesed both the Padres and the Phillies. Cool. Thanks.
Really, really quick, because we talked about the Padres a lot. I just feel like we need to mention this. The Padres have probably the hardest schedule for the rest of the year.
Down the stretch, they are both Mariners and actually, you know what? The Phillies have a hard one down the stretch too. And the thing is, because we were like, oh, dude, right after that, we've got the Diamondbacks. That'll be fucking easy. You know, we have the Dodgers, then we have the Diamondbacks, and they're shitting the bed against the Diamondbacks. Just lost today 2-6. So, phenomenal, Phils fans.
Baseball is a sick sport, dude. Sick sport.
Yeah, dude. It's really cool. Mets still can't hit.
Didn't they beat the Giants last night 5-2?
Yeah, but I mean that's over. What's their over their last 10? It's like
Oh, it's probably like 2-8. They got
actually,
swept by the Dodgers. They got
4
swept
to
by the
6.
Phillies.
Thought it would be worse.
Yeah.
Phillies are actually 3-7. Braves, on the other hand, 9-1.
Yeah, Braves are nuts.
Okay.
The Braves and the Yankees both have the highest, or rather the longest winning streak at 6 games today.
Anyway, if you ever think about trusting the Phillies, don't.
Fair.
Okay. Yes, now we can talk about milestone watch Joey Votto. Joey Votto just had his 2,000th hit. And he said promptly, I might feed it to my dog.
Yeah. Well, he can't. But
his dog. Yes, he said he would if his dog was still alive.
Yes, his first MLB hit, he said that his dog ate the ball. Mm-hmm. So then he was like, I'd probably feed it to him if he was still alive. Which I don't know about. I know that Dan and I both. I don't know about all the people in Viewerland, but everybody has been asking, is Joey Votto a Hall of Famer? Yes. Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah, I don't know what there is really to discuss. So here's what I want to bring up. So the question is Joey Votto a Hall of Famer? I'm going to ask you right now, Mr. Howard, what do you think Joey Votto's WAR is? Career.
34.9 or like a 42.8? Way higher.
Not way higher, but significantly higher.
Doubled or no?
No.
Let's go 52.
He's a 63.1.
Okay. Yeah.
According to Baseball Reference, so it's B-WAR.
Yes.
Now I'm going to list some other players, and I want you to tell me if you think they're higher or lower than Joey Votto in career WAR. CC Sabathia.
Lower.
Yes, lower, 62.6.
That is fucking insanely close.
Yeah. Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Lower.
62.2. Mark McGwire.
Lower.
Also 62.2. Roy Halladay.
Higher.
64.2. Man, you're killing it.
I'm looking right at you, by the way. There is nothing on my screen.
Okay.
This is making me very proud.
Chase Utley.
Oh, I feel like that's lower.
Slightly higher, 64.5.
Really? Okay.
Jackie Robinson.
Higher.
63.9. Hold on, I had more. You know what? In a reference to our conversation earlier, Tommy John.
Lower.
Pretty close though, 61.6.
Wow, okay.
Ichiro Suzuki.
I feel like that has to be higher.
Lower, 65.
Wow. Yeah, okay. He's had more years than Joey, I would say, so that would make sense.
Vladimir Guerrero.
I'm assuming you mean senior.
Yes.
Lower.
59.5. Mike Piazza.
Lower.
59.5. Okay. So, of the people I just listed who are within the Joey Votto range of WAR, how many of them are Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers?
I would probably say.
I mean, excluding Joe.
Well, how many did you just choose? How many did you just give me? Do you remember?
I think 8. So, excluding Joe Jackson, Mark McGwire, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I said Chase Utley, Jackie Robinson, both of which are Hall of Famers.
CC, Roy.
Roy Halladay. And then I said CC Sabathia, Tommy John, who is notably not a Hall of Famer, Vladimir Guerrero.
Well, dang it, I was supposed to guess.
Mike Piazza. And then, we didn't even say Yogi Berra, 59.6. and then
You had to
Ichiro
throw-
Suzuki.
You had to throw that in there.
Sorry.
All right.
So the idea that you're one war away, and I know that, look, I'm aware there's other reasons Jackie Robinson's in the Hall of Fame, but you're one war away from Jackie Robinson. You're slightly more than one war away from Roy Halladay. You are above Mark McGwire and Shoeless Joe Jackson. You are above Ichiro Suzuki. Like,
surefire Hall of Famer, by the way, as well.
Like that's like, yeah. I mean, Ichiro's not in there yet. We're discussing. He's just not. He's just not 5 years out of the MLB yet. The dude's gonna be
exactly.
But like,
exactly.
It's just not a question. I know WAR is not a perfect stat, but like what argument would you have against Joey Votto?
I don't even know. So like the thing is, looking at a majority of these right here. So since 1931, there have been 2 MVPs through each league.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually gonna do a little game with you.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you that someone was an MVP. I'm gonna ask you how many out of the. Let's see. So I would say it's been 1931, 2020. So 90 years. The last 90 years, there has been an MVP. Obviously, there will be an MVP this year. So I suppose 89, but whatever. Fuck it. Of the past 90 years, what would you say, or rather, how many of these players would you say? Give me like a quick guess as far as how many people. Is it off of 2 hands? How many people haven't been in the Hall of Fame off of MVPs? So more so, the question is.
This is a really confusing question.
No. I know. So I'm.
How many people on the MVP list are not Hall of Famers?
Are not Hall of Famers, yes.
And you said Can you tell me how many people? Because I know you said 90 years, but do you know how many players?
I mean 90 years, and then it would just be, so it would be, I mean, times 2, right?
Am I somebody can be an MVP twice.
True.
So I didn't know if you had a number of players, but if not, that's fine.
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
I would say I have that at that point, but they're all designated.
I'm gonna say you said on 2 hands.
Mm-hmm.
8.
It's probably going to be, looking at it, it's probably about 20. Now,
that's not
being
on 2 hands.
That being said, no, I said, so what I said was, is it more than 2 hands or not?
Oh, I thought you meant you were telling me it's going to be 2 hands or less. Sorry.
No, I was confusing how I set it up, but regardless, the people on here that you're not seeing, so Miguel Cabrera is a multiple-time MVP.
Yes.
Mike Trout is a multiple-time MVP. Barry Bonds is a 7-time MVP. You aren't seeing him in the Hall. Albert Pujols is a multiple-time MVP. Joey Votto is also an MVP. Do I think that Andrew McCutchen will be in the Hall of Fame? That's probably a little bit better of a question.
Yeah.
Andrew McCutchen, after starting in 2009, hasn't even hit 2,000 hits yet. Not to say that that's bad or anything on his side, but what I'm getting at here is, like, there's very few MVPs within MLB that have not been in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. But there's a lot of different extenuating circumstances as far as that's concerned. One thing that I think is insane is that there are some MVPs that there's the certain criterias are kind of weird as far as how Hall of Fame goes. But in general, Joey Votto has been such a consistent player, even with the Reds, like, they made the postseason last year. They haven't even had a postseason win since 1996, if I recall correctly. So it's one of those things where, like, does MVP matter? Not necessarily as far as getting into the Hall of Fame. But I mean, there's very, very few Hall of Famers that have been MVP. Or excuse me, there are very few Hall of Famers that have not been MVP at that point. And this is more so considering positioning players. It's very rare for a pitcher to be getting MVP. It's not unheard of, but it is very rare. Could have been Jacob deGrom had he not been murdered this year, but, you know, by injuries, not literally.
Well, I'm just going to throw some regular, good old-fashioned Joey Votto stats out there. So, yes, he is currently sitting at over 2,000 hits, 2,002 to be exact. Over 1,000 runs with 1,090.
Runs batted in, you mean, right? Or runs?
No, runs. Runs scored. Runs batted.
Just wanted to make sure.
Runs batted in is 1,042, so also over 1,000.
Yep.
321 home runs. And a total of 449 extra base hits.
You want to know a quick stat that, like, doesn't mean anything, but I think is kind of cool?
Sure.
He's the first player to ever get his 2,000th hit, his 1,000th RBI, and his 300th home run in the same season.
Oh, wow. That is kind of interesting.
Pretty cool.
He has a career batting average of 303. His slugging is 520. His OPS plus is 148. Look, all this is to say, Votto bangs.
Yeah.
And it is not particularly close on the argument of whether he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Different than whether or not he's going to get in, but whether he deserves it, he absolutely fucking deserves it.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, look, Tiger Woods, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Joey Votto. Wow.
Somebody made fun of that and said, New York Yankees, Chicago Bulls, Milwaukee Bucks, Los Angeles Dodgers. Wow. What a fucking idiot.
Los Angeles Dodgers are the New York Yankees of baseball.
You could have just said they are now the New York Yankees and it would have been fine. But
he corrected himself later and did say the New York Yankees of the West Coast. But I also think that's a stupid comparison too.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I understand what he means, but, like, the thing is, the Dodgers aren't, like, buying up talent; they're trading for them. There's a very distinct difference between getting Mookie Betts and David Price through a trade versus, and I mean, don't get me wrong, they signed him to like a 10 or 11 year deal or what have you. Sure, that's fine, but it's like people saying that the Yankees are buying up like Joey Gallo or Anthony Rizzo. It's like, it's not that they're buying them. They traded them and they did lose players and prospects and stuff like that, man. It's not unheard of.
So
excuse me.
But anyway, all I have to say, Joey Votto is he's not only is he awesome, but he's a Hall of Famer. Just fucking,
yes.
They should just give it to him before he retires. Like, don't even fucking wait. Just give it to him now.
Figure these fucking rules out. Jesus.
This is, by the way, I mean, this is a guy who has, like, who just got done terrorizing my team last week. Like, just give it to him. Like, this doesn't matter. Yeah. He's one of the coolest, most interesting personalities in MLB. Not to mention the fact that he fucking shreds. So just give it to him. Like,
yeah.
Not a discussion, really. I think we're good to go on to This Is How I Win. Did you have anything else you wanted to bring up?
Votto bangs.
Tommy John should be in the fucking Hall of Fame. I'm going to say it again.
Thurman Munson and Roger Maris should also be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Roger Maris,
I didn't even think about Roger Maris.
Fame.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
He's a fucking 2-time MVP. That's so insane to me.
Damn. And you know what? I bet Manfred's in the fucking Hall of Fame before Roger Maris is.
Oh my god.
This is how I win.
This is my fucking way. This is how I win.
So we're going to discuss, we've already discussed Oh my god, I just said the Rogers, the Rangers, the Pirates. I think I'm thinking Jolly Rogers Pirates.
The Texas Rogers.
The Texas Rogers. The Marlins and the Giants are teams we've already gone through. So now we're going to shuffle and have a new set of two teams who we can argue whether or not they deserve to win or how they're going to do it. So Bobby, do you want to go first or second?
I can go second.
Okay, I'll go first. Whoops, I set my timer for 45 minutes. Not what I want to do. Okay.
Hell yeah.
My team is the Astros.
Hey.
All right. Why did my internet die? Oh, no, there it is. Okay.
I mean, I'm still here. I can hear you.
Okay, I was sorry. My screen keeps freezing.
Do 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 do.
Sorry.
It's like
I don't know why everything is
music.
freezing.
You're fine. It's in LA. It shouldn't be freezing.
That's
Everything should be warm.
Crazy. Did you know that before they were the Astros, they were the Houston Colt 45s? That's true.
You trying to make a joke?
No, that's literally that was.
I thought you were making I knew that was the case, but I thought that you were like.
No, I really had never.
You kept looking back and forth as if you were going to get me, and I was like,
nope,
eh?
Did not know that. Okay. All right. I think I'm ready. All right. My 45 seconds starts now. Okay, so look, you're winning. You're already leading the division. What is there to worry about? I mean, you're on a 5-5 right now in your last 10. You know, all right, not great, but not terrible. Makes sense. Bregman's gone. You got some injuries on the line. Zach Greinke is like the coolest pitcher ever. Keep him. I don't know. Just like you guys hit a lot of baseballs. You just keep hitting baseballs. You're going to be good. Like, and also your division's not super strong. Oakland is shitting the bed. Mariners are coming up, but they're not going to catch you. They could maybe get the wild card. Yeah, you don't really have to worry. Keep hitting baseballs. I'm done.
That's really funny. I mean,
make Jose Altuve run your social media accounts.
Oh my god!
Give him the Twitter keys.
I will. I'll tell you right now, I am so tired of hearing "fuck Altuve" at Yankees games.
Yeah,
they were playing the Red Sox, and I was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
if he's here, I'll listen to it.
Listen, here's something sacrilegious I'm about to say. The amount of hate that Jose Altuve has gotten in situations that are completely irrelevant to him. Like chanting "fuck Altuve," yeah, at a Yankees Red Sox game, or getting "fuck Altuve" chants when I was at an Angels Blue Jays game, and I'm like, you guys know that's George Springer, right? That's a different guy.
Yeah,
I'm almost on Altuve's side by this point. I'm just like, holy shit, this is so fucking obnoxious. Yes, he cheated. Yes, he's an asshole. But you're ruining my baseball watching experience. Shut the fuck up.
People take Altuve as the poster boy because he won the MVP, which is fair. Yeah, I think that is completely fair.
Totally fair to be mad about it. Yes.
But it's like he's not there. Like you can't like the vitriol that you're trying to spew at him isn't even warranted. Or rather, it's warranted. It isn't even being channeled correctly.
Do you think he can hear you? Like, do you think?
Exactly.
First of all, do you think Jose Altuve is at home tonight watching the Blue Jays? Like, oh man, I can hear the crowd in the background chanting "fuck Altuve." First of all, he's a fucking MLB player. He's not watching the other games. He's at home doing fucking anything else.
Or he's playing a game.
Yeah, or he's playing that night. Secondly, Jose Altuve is already the most hated man in the entire league, probably.
Probably Carlos Correa.
Correa is up there, and honestly, I think Arrieta might be up there as of this week. And Trevor Bauer, I guess, as well.
Trevor Bauer is more than likely the most hated nowadays.
But he was the most hated man for like a whole year. like it's not like you need if he wanted to see vitriol, he could open up Twitter. Like, it's not like he needs you. And more than likely, he doesn't care about you or your opinion because he's still a multimillionaire. So stop screaming in the seats behind me because every time you do it, it makes me like Jose Altuve a little bit more just to spite you. Okay.
Who do I got?
Right. Your team is the fucking Yankees.
Are you actually serious?
Dead serious.
Oh, okay.
All right. Whenever you're ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so what needs to happen is Aaron Boone needs to go to Boston. He needs to kill Alex Correa. Alex Cora. Don't kill Alex Correa. That's not a real person, at least as far as I know. Now, what will need to be done after that is he needs to go down and we have a bullpen, a whole stable full of guys that are throwing 90 that Kevin Cash liked to say. So instead, we bring all those dudes down, we Danganronpa their asses,
seconds.
and we fucking throw the baseballs right into Kevin Cash's fucking face. He can no longer manage. From there, the Yankees just play a really good game against Minnesota, Oakland, maybe even take the division.
10.
Just by continuing to just hit good offense and some nice pitching.
All right, with 5 seconds to spare.
I actually had mine up. I had like 2 seconds more to go, but I was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, I basically agree with everything you say. I think murder is the option.
Yeah, man, you got to change it up sometimes.
Yeah. I think we should kill Noah Syndergaard. Like me and Yin. Did you see the thing? Never mind. This is unrelated to the season, so I probably shouldn't bring it up. Whatever.
No, it's fine.
Did you see the thing he posted on Instagram today?
Was he talking? No, I didn't. No.
They finished out. Where were they? San Francisco this week.
Yeah.
And
that wasn't today. But are you talking about the ESPN and then they flew to San Francisco?
No. That was reasonable. That was like a reasonable complaint. Syndergaard posted a picture of some homeless dude on his Instagram with like the homeless guy his pants pulled down and was like ass naked outside, and Syndergaard was like, "Great win last night, guys. Now let's get the fuck out of this dumb city."
Holy shit.
And everybody was like, hold on. Noah, are you implying that a homeless man without pants on is something that you wouldn't see in New York?
Yeah.
Like, what city do you think you play in, motherfucker?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's pretty good.
And so everybody's just been ragging on Noah Syndergaard. He deleted it like 5 minutes later. He's like,
that's amazing.
You know what? This was a dumb thing to post, but it was for about 5 seconds, just the entire internet being like, where do you get off?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Where do you get off criticizing San Francisco, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Anyway, which like, look,
goofy.
Personally, I like New York more than I like San Francisco as a city. But like, are you like? No, they're both cities that have horrible problems with ignoring the mental illness of their homeless population, Mr. Syndergaard.
Yes.
Also, if man just want to whip his dick out, it's the fucking problem. I'm saying everybody too uptight these days. God damn.
That's true. I've had my dick out the entire podcast.
I was about to say, I've been pantless the entire podcast, and you know what? And I'm gonna keep doing it. I have 3 more
space ball, right?
I have 3 more podcasts after this that I'm gonna keep not having my pants on for.
Well, what they don't know is that it is full camera view.
Yeah, I'm filming vertical for the next ones.
Oh shit!
All right. Okay, I think that's it for this week. This is fun. Votto bangs. That's our official statement as a podcast.
Rest in peace, Thurman Munson.
Rest
put him
in
in
peace,
the hall.
Thurman Munson. Rest in peace, Thermos Mustard. And we're gonna be back next week, maybe. We'll see. Who knows? We might get canceled off the airwaves
That's true.
for having our dicks out mid podcast.
That's true, but I mean they can't see it, so what does it matter?
Call me Junior.
Well,
Call me Junior.
here we go.
Call me Junior. Call me Junior. Call me. It's showtime. Junior.